Good morning. I'm Chuck Diedrich, Executive Director of the New York State Council of School Superintendents. Pleased to welcome you to our third and final day of our Winter Institute. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the many invited guests who are with us. Lieutenant Governor's Office, we have people from the New York State United Teachers, New York State PTA, the New York State School Boards Association, and many of our other partners. Thank you so much for joining us. It means a great deal to have our partners here with us. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank K-12 Insight, our title sponsor. Without the help of all of our sponsors, we couldn't do programs like this, but especially without the help of K-12 Insight, we wouldn't have been able to do this program at all. So thank you to them. Want to remind everyone that there's going to be a bylaws vote that's going to be taking place within the next couple of weeks. Please watch for that and remind your colleagues that that is going to be occurring. Also, that there's going to be a vote for the AASA Governing Board. We have 3 seats open this year. Sherry Cammey from Baldwin will be running for re-election. Lou Vell Brown from Ithaca has indicated that he's going to run, and Kevin McGowan from Brighton has indicated that he's going to run. If you know of anybody else that's interested, please have them get a hold of me or Rena in my office as soon as possible. Again, we can't thank you enough for being here, and we're switching the program around just a little bit, and it is my pleasure right now to introduce our president of NSCUS, Kevin McGowan from Brighton. Kevin.
Good morning again, everybody, and welcome back. It is my pleasure now to introduce to you a very special guest who has joined us this morning. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul formerly served in Congress as a member of the House of Representatives, representing the 26th Congressional District, following her work as Erie County Clerk. You should know also, though, that Lieutenant Governor Hochul was just the type of student leader that we value in our schools. Yes, she got an early start by leading student protests at Syracuse University, one for the prices in the bookstore being too high, another protesting the naming of the Carrier Dome not in honor of Ernie Davis, not Ernie Banks either. And also, more importantly, when I mentioned this to her this morning, to have the university divest their holdings in South Africa during the apartheid era. Very meaningful, of course, as well. Of late, however, Lieutenant Governor Hochul was tasked by Governor Cuomo to chair the 10 Regional Economic Development Councils, which are the centerpiece of the administration's economic development plan, to chair the task force on heroin, opiate abuse, and addiction, and to spearhead Governor Cuomo's Enough is Enough campaign to combat sexual assault on college campuses beginning in 2015, hosting and attending more than 25 events to that end. As the highest-ranking female elected official in New York State, she continues to be a champion for women and families across the state. So it occurred to me as we celebrate Women's History Month and welcome our dedicated Lieutenant Governor and fierce advocate and a good friend, Senator Shelley Mayer, and we continue to work under Jazz's leadership for the Women's Initiative. I must simply say thank you to all of you and the many role models in leadership positions in this room today. I'm so glad that my daughter and my sons have examples like all of you. Lieutenant Governor, thank you for taking time to join us today. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul to the stage.
Good morning. Last year I was here, I followed the singing superintendents. So sorry I'm going to miss that this time, but I'll keep your secrets quiet here, but you seem to have an awfully good time when you visit our state capitol. I mean, you deserve it. There is so much stress. You got the weight of the world on your shoulders. So if you can come here, cut loose a little bit, get some good camaraderie going, and recharge yourselves as you head back to your district, then that is a good thing. So welcome to our state capitol. First of all, to Superintendent McGowan, I want to thank you for the great work that you do in Brighton, but all across the state of New York with your leadership. Chuck, I've had the opportunity to work with you on many of these occasions since I was a brand new lieutenant governor 5 years ago, and I came to the first meeting. I've tried to come every single year. And Jazz, I want to thank you for always making sure that we put a spotlight on the work of the superintendents, but that extra special emphasis you put on our recruitment to get more women to be in these great positions, and I've been able to speak at some of your conference on that, so thank you all for your leadership. You know, I was reflecting back on my time as a town board member in the town of Hamburg, Erie County, 14 years, and I think it's because my uncle was the local high school principal, and I had lots of my family members were teachers. I had another uncle who was a superintendent in a different state. I was always the designee from the town board whenever the school superintendent wanted a representative from the town board to work on an initiative. So I was always the one who went over and we talked about safe school summits, how we, after Columbine, what we could be doing more to protect our students. I was the one who was sent over to talk about how we can deal with the impending scourge of the heroin opioid crisis, which was really just getting off the ground when I was a new town board member. And I had so many opportunities to interact with our school superintendents and the committees they put together. And I, to this day, am so in awe of the sense of public service that each and every one of you have, because you may not be elected to office, but for all intents and purposes, you are the face of your communities. And I know sometimes it's tough to walk into the grocery store when your face has been in the newspaper and everybody comes up to you and tells you what's on their mind. Welcome to my world as well. But you do it anyhow. You get up every single day and you know who you're fighting for, because there are no greater champions than our superintendents, our administrators, and our teachers for the betterment of society through investing in our children. And so you come here year after year making your case. And yes, we understand you need more resources, and we're spending $28 billion more than any state in the nation on investing in our children. We're going to continue investing in programs, early childhood education, which is where it all begins. And what a difference in outcome when we know we make those investments and give children, particularly in tough neighborhoods, that shot that they may not otherwise have, because we can get them into a school as a 3 or 4-year-old. That makes a difference. After school programs, we're continuing to invest in after school, because, my God, there's a lot of things that kids can do wrong after school, but if they stay in that school setting just a few extra hours, we can have a very positive impact on their lives. And you think about what kids are dealing with today. I mean, the challenges we dealt with when my kids were little seem almost quaint in comparison. There was no online bullying. There were no girls being mean to girls on social media, and suicide rates that were high, and LGBT kids feeling that they're ostracized and unwelcome. We didn't have to worry about mass casualty shootings in schools. We didn't have to do drills when you're in kindergarten about what happens when a mass shooter walks into your classroom. And now the whole specter of vaping. I'm attending a conference and a press conference just in a couple of hours. I mean, my niece is in middle school telling me, Aunt Kathy, the kids are hiding them the girls put them behind their ears in school and hide them, and they're all doing it. And these kids now, if they start vaping, and at least 40% of high school seniors admit to now doing this, they are now addicted to nicotine for the rest of their lives, perhaps. These are challenges that we could not even imagine, that there'd be a concentrated marketing effort geared toward our kids by naming products like cotton candy and Captain Crunch, and they're supposedly targeted toward adults. I don't think so. We're not that naive. So you think about what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, in addition to being measured by the outcomes of your school districts. I just want to tell you to keep the faith, because you truly are making a difference. You may not have the warmth, the hug, the gratitude from a child after they walk across that stage, but you need to know in your hearts that because you could have had any other career, but you decide to dedicate yourself to a high-profile, sometimes volatile, very challenging position as a school superintendent, that you indeed have made the difference in the lives of literally thousands of young people. So I come here as a parent, as a leader in this state, as someone who has a heart full of gratitude for all the work you do, and know that we will continue to be your partners as we try to overcome the challenges of yesterday, the challenges of today, coronavirus, and now you all have to worry about what protocols will be in place if that comes to your school district. So I thank you. I hope you do have a chance to just relax a little bit, take a deep breath, and go back even more empowered in the knowledge that you are truly making a difference in the state of New York, and for that we are all grateful. Thank you very much.